Hello, hello. How is everyone? Let me put on something a little bit more exciting. That will work for now. I'm doing alright. Still a bit tired, but I did actually get the work done today. This work week is very packed full of work to do. I'll eventually start to get a bit of a break, but this is the tough part of the year. Well, I say that, but then all the big events are coming in the next few months, so. And either way, I do have some small news. I know Shinny and Duck are not here, but I can update them at some other point. I'll put an actual post out about this, but my work schedule is changing. By that I mean my day job. It's not a significant change, thankfully. All that's happening is that Tuesdays will then be my half days, and I have to work a full day on Wednesday. So what that means in practice is that I will probably be more tired on Wednesdays. It might not always be the case, but it will probably get in the way a little bit. Now alongside that there is a potential opportunity. I have the option of doing my half days in the afternoon this time around. And while I am not the biggest fan of having to wait on scheduled things, like if there is something that I have to do today, at some time anytime before it feels like I'm just sitting around. What that does mean though is that I could sleep in a little bit on Tuesdays. And in return I could stream at nights on Monday. I don't know if that will work. I will give the scheduling a test for 1 or 2 weeks. In practice that means one of the midday slots have been converted to afternoon slot, but we shall see what happens. As for the debut itself, I realize it has been pretty delayed. and the prospective point is looking at about next weekend maybe. Like I think that might be the most likely time. It depends on how much of the required work I can get done in the meantime. Plus side of that is it means that I may be debuting by the time the new internet arrives. Either way, we'll see how it all works out. What I have lined up today is a game I am often quite fascinated with. Its entire series, and it did not live very long. It's very peculiar. To even put it in perspective of how not well it did. First release guides full international release. And it was a weird, little experimental game. Second game did not get released in US territories, for some reason. And I believe the third game only got released in Japan. And then following this later on, they made an awkward Xbox 360 game that came around later. But I like playing the second one because the gameplay is actually better than the first one, and you can play a girl in this one. That said, the game will be playing at I believe 25 frames per second, because it is PAL, and it is running at half speed, because this is a PlayStation 2 game. Either way, I'll swap on over to it. I'm going to see if this is going to work. There we go. Alright, Segel. See you, Yale. Opening on this game goes way harder than he needs to. This game is not nearly that impressive in practice, but it's a really cool opening. So this is sort of a fighting game with a sense of an adventuring around, although in a very loose capacity. You can see here's your character faces, of which few are unlocked by default. But there is one lady to pick from. I believe she is the only lady on the roster. Very few customization options either. Honestly, I might stick with the default name, just because I like it. Hey, Duck. You missed the cool opening sequence. I suppose I could name myself Alice, but in a sort of Japanese form. Also probably looks like I need to change the volume a little bit. I'll do that. Rise of this game is not very loud, it's just a scream. How are you doing tonight, Duck? Also hastening. If you think this looks neat, you should see the opening sequence, because it makes this game look so much cooler than it is. That said, it's still kind of neat. Good to hear, Duck, good to hear. Tired, but I am living. I'm doing okay. This is quite literally how this game opens up. It throws you right into a fight. My chances of winning this are probably not very high. This is meant to be a somewhat realistic samurai fighting game. Shockingly, we beat the first fight. It was entirely at random who the first fight is. It can be someone with a really busted moveset. This guy will give us some jobs we can do to improve our skills. Normally if you lose that fight you'll get sent to the tutorial. I believe we can still do it, though. So this game is a bit like stat raising stuff going on in it too. The music that you heard on the title screen and the character creation screen, that's all the music in this game as far as I'm aware. Kengo games are trying to evoke a sort of realistic atmosphere, to greater or lesser effect. This game has a rather advanced system of learning different moves out of other people's move sets as you fight them. First game is pretty fun in its own way, it just kind of suffers from the fact that there's a very obvious meta game. This one's balanced have it better, at least in the sense that there's more things to choose from. So we have a few options to start with. We can go and do some local missions. We can go and fight people down there in the gutter. Or he can go have fights to the death in a gambling arena. Do you know as you do? But honestly, if I had this game growing up, I probably would have liked it a whole lot. That said, this was only released in Europe and Japan, so unlikely for me to have ever met this one. Overall goal of this game is for us to make it the Edo and participate in the great contest. And potentially beyond that, kill every other samurai in the world and take their sword. 'Cause you just kind of do that in this game. Final boss is Musashi. You know, the legendary swordsman with the paddle. To be fair, you don't have to have the world's best grasp of English to play this, although it's going to be kind of difficult to do much with your moveset, particularly the first game. Alright, so the first option the recruiter has given us is to assassinate somebody. Okay, cool. I'm not going to do that one right now, cause it's a little bit tough. You will note that you have fame and bad fame. It literally doesn't matter, as far as anyone knows. So we're going to go to the practice area for a little bit just to remind myself of how to play this game. It is a thing duck, because that's how Kengo is. This series is experimental to the core, and at times not fully fleshed. So if we did not succeed at fighting the guy in the very opening, then we would have basically been brought here automatically. Highest speed. Attacking. In the first game you could actively cancel your attacks, and with really no restriction. In this game it's not nearly as present. This game does have just garden blood status, what they're talking about. Just gourd input. Lots of bonking sticks against each other for a little bit here. For basically if you block really close to when it's supposed to hit you, you can knock them back a little bit more. First game had like a more outright play grab type thing. Oh, this game's neat, it's got a lot of depth in it. First one just kind of falls to the floor that. One horizontal attacks are by far the best moveset in the game. In this game it's not nearly as hard based, but things with high movement tend to be very effective. We shall continue our training. Cause being able to run is a big part of this game. I was trying to remember how to do this earlier because you can see how slow you normally move, but the running is a lot. You can use it to back out of combat really quick. Running attack is not very useful in most gameplay. However, it is relevant to some of the missions we can undertake from the recruiter. This was on the PlayStation 2. First 3 games of this franchise around the PlayStation 2, and then they released one a good bit later on the Xbox 360 that plays a good bit differently than this. With this game not being released in the US, the only way to play it in English is to play the European version. You're also allowed to do droll/stuff. And as they noted, it's not usually very useful at all. Say you want to play this on PlayStation 2, you need a European PlayStation 2, as it is a region-locked console. Or you can and have hacked the console. Which is what I tried to do with mine, but mine unfortunately has a lot of other problems with it, so I can't really use it as much anymore. Draw/ is kind of useful. It can sometimes catch opponents off guard. If you use it right though, in most cases you should never sheath your sword. tutorial in this game's a bit better than the first one. Although you have to kind of look at the actual manual to understand some of the stuff with the moves it forms. So this is about sort of like advanced braking system. I'm not sure I've ever understood this part super well. It was more simple in the first game. But I think his base keeping too, if you're in a certain stance, or you can then do the pushback. So you have like a means of trying to escape from this happening to you, where you can move in another direction, and you trying to put the offense on them. You can also redirect which way you go with that to try and catch them. You can witness the problem with vertical slashes. As you note how often the training guy here is missing me while I'm standing directly in front of him. Yeah, this game has a lot of complexity to it. I do have the manual, because I have a full boxed copy of this. So I can pull it out if I need it. So I think this is what I know from the first game in terms of countering people. You can see that you can mix that up in there. Oh, I mislike having manuals and stuff, it was just a neat little aspect of things. One second, Coco, stop. But yeah, I miss manuals. Even if there is something to be said for reducing the amount of extra random things we produce in a consumerist society. I do also have while remember how you used to have like full guides on how to like play games that some businesses would put out. Honestly, if you're wondering about the strange noise I could make a girl make, it's a taunt. And it's relevant to the super move system that exists later, I believe. So that was a reminder to go and try and set our new stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. So the key is your guard break effectively and they is your guard counter. So basically this one works on verticals. And this one kind of hits any defense. But you could put it on attempting to hit someone with their stance in the center roughly, because this game has a lot of complexity. Something you got saw. That stance there has the sword in the upper stake. And as you notice, I don't actually have a current option I can use for doing guard break on it. Because my hands are already too high in the air to do such a thing. They were committed to trying to create a somewhat realistic katana sword fighting game with this. And this one does a bit of a better job than the first one does to a degree. It's time for actual training. We are going to fight a dude. Took a little bit of work. I couldn't get guard break to work, so I don't know if I didn't set it right. Honestly, the combat is pretty good. They refined this after the first game. Because the first game suffers from there being only 2 horizontal move sets, and them by far being the best. So I was hitting this button, but it wasn't working. I guess maybe their defense was a different stance, I don't know. Let me swap it for the other one perhaps. And we'll see how that works out for us in the meantime. Let's go fight some people and learn some things. This is going to be the school of hard knocks by far. You learn other movesets by fighting other people and observing their moveset. Okay. That was a thing. This guy can do a full flip apparently. There's some crazy movesets in here that I've seen. Generally want to be on the defense at first just to see what in the world the next person is going to be doing. Counterattack through a lot of damage if you hit them. This man looks a bit disheveled. Oh, he's got this moveset. This move sets up crazy good. Ouch! Hopefully, I picked up something from that. I'm telling you from my previous experience playing that moveset, is so good. And as you do stuff, your stats go up a little bit. I gave it my best try. I had good thing going there with the side running attack. I mean, I'm glad you folks like it. We'll put that one on, I suppose. This is a very little known game. I think so it's kind of neat to show it off. The more we improve our forms, the more points we'll get to add more moves. It'll probably be good to have a horizontal armor repost. Do you want to see some real sword combat? I can go to the blood pit. Because there's bleeding mechanics and stuff in this game too. Missing go very well or go very bad very quickly. I did notice we have very little health, so we might die here. Okay, this guy is an aggressive moveset. If I hold out, he'll actually do. Bleed out. Health does not reset, you have to go and sleep first. We did not sleep after we got beat up. I think 3 kills is going to be good. Especially since it's this guy again. Their appearance isn't super indicative of things, but we did pretty good there. Your health bar is measured by the strength stats, of which only 146%. We also gained 30 bad fame from doing a little bit of murder. Samurais are going to do what they're gonna do, I suppose. We did pick up a new thing. I didn't see what it was exactly for. I think it might have been an alpha. No, not this one. I am legally required to say that I am not intending to do any crimes. This just so happens to be feudal Japan, and sometimes you get into sword fights. I wish there was an easier way to look at all the things you've learned. You can get more drawing techniques, but I don't know if I've ever seen any in my time. Want to level up your skill sets, you actually have to use it. Alright, so we have a side swinging move set here. This one doesn't tend to be super good, but it has its applications. Hey, you here to see some samurai swords. What we'll do is arrest. That gets her back up, and maybe we will try doing a mission. I can go back to the fighting pits if you want me to. Give it one more try in the outdoor tournament, see if we pick up something cool. I like how the training grounds are quite literally just like an empty river. Okay, this guy is a thrusting moveset, which I don't have a great defense against. This guy is like drunken stagger move. Yeah, this guy just beat us up. That move set was so dirty. We picked up something though from it. That is a fascinating sentence out of context dump. Well, I don't have any of the things so I can't join, but it does sound neat. If it gets streamed sometime that Discord, I might transfer can catch it. Now since we get beat the heck up we're going to have to rest again. Let's see if I can find someone who's not using a super dirty moveset. Really trying to see if I can paint him out there. You can cancel most fight attacks. We're not doing so great. As the first game I know has local buffoon, I'm not so sure about. I was doing a lot better earlier too, and less good now. We'll see cancel your attacks go straight into guard so it's not like whipping them completely. So we have some new stances here. That's a pretty decent moveset. I think the only difference with Ahura is that your legs are further apart. I'm gonna bring a stab guard because that one guy was a pain. nothing new there. We've got some hot. I'm gonna try the pits again. We'll pull out some wins at some point. So there's a few directional based attacks that are the same no matter what you're doing. We got that guy. Let's go. I like this guy's pants. Oh, he's on a very heavy vertical moveset. Always got the jump moveset. Jump is a pretty good one to have just because the approach is unpredictable. Disguised as shoulder checking. What is this? What is this man coy? Could you please do something else? I knew bringing the stab gourd was a good plan. That moveset was wild. Water trickling noises. I see you've figured out your problem with your crucible. That would probably sound about right, but it didn't handle the temperature. Oh man, we just destroyed that guy. We are on a roll. Another they say that we'll probably find somewhat the really wicked moveset. Oh, we got him. We are on a roll, if there ever was one. Oh, this guy is up that annoying move there. What is that? What was that? That moveset was crazy. And we were getting close to actually exiting this part of the game. If you get 10 wins in a row there, you qualify. How many different moves there are, there's quite a lot. As you can see, we've only barely learned the portions of just 2 schools. I like the upper right moveset we have, so I'm going to go in here. Yeah, with researching that I would probably have that result. You have to be kind of specific in what you search for. This is a weird one. It does have a horizontal in it, some a little bit more. Happy to take it. I will check and see if there's anything new here. No. Main things you're looking for is often horizontal, so you can catch movement. So this is how you get running bash, I guess. So it seems to be a variation of this but target. An offense instead of a defense. We'll keep what we got here. We're going to arrest. And then we'll see if we can do a mission. There is no use for money in this game, as far as I know. They really want us to assassinate stuff. I mean, I can do it. But oh, here we go. We can defend a merchant. We'll try and make it work out. Guards are not very useful. So for these encounters you're better off just running around and swinging your sword. Because the enemies only have one hit. We have defended the cat. As far as I can tell, that's what we were defending. But yes, this game added in, and a weaker enemy mode. Real have lower bandits or the like that you can fight. That said, and you can fight with your normal moveset, but very often, it's not worth doing. Oh, here we go, rescue VIP, then this is the cool one. We have a political plot going down, and we must rescue the VIP. Also, hey Seborg. So there's actually like maps to run across here. Bleed is not great. We're going to keep bleeding out until we get through here. Was this just a dead end? Oh great. Yeah, this is not looking great for us. Alright, we're going to have to do those on very little. Oh, I took one swing. What a fool. And so I'm out of there all nice and cool. Alright, see you, duck. You can catch up with the VOD and stuff. I'll be sure to post it early. Thank you for the ribbon. Also posting buns. I think that worked out quite well for us. So we got a new form, and I'll take a look at it. I'm not super sold on the one that we have. But I don't seem to see where the new one's ants. I mean, this owl is a cicada, is. They love their cicada ambience in this game. Let's go to the fighting pit a little bit more, the outdoor tournament. I might try and see if I can draw slash, and one of these days. Okay, this guy has a really good moveset that I would like. Ouch! Those really wide horizontal swings are very useful. This is another shoulder check that I see. I beat him to the punch. Got that one? If there's any real reason to stop when your is already this low, might as well just keep going. Low cuts. It's fine. As long as we continue to learn stuff, it works out well for us. Didn't get a super large amount from that one. Maybe we can go and finish the dojo training. Did I accidentally? Okay. I haven't saved a little bit, so I guess we're going to have to attack and defend for 20 seconds. While we are very skilled, we landed one attack. Sometimes the best defense is just running away. I apologize that we went through the tutorial again. That was probably enough form changing for everyone's business. They gave you very high stats in the tutorial compared to what you normally have, if you notice how fast I can attack. Alright, let me go ahead and save that way. I don't go and accidentally do practice I don't need to do. We have to fight this man and defeat him. We've been doing that quite a lot. being a little too aggressive. I was trying to dash in and block, but there is kind of a delay on you being able to do that. Chat, swear. Okay. Yet there is a versus mode in the S it seems. I don't know what time attack is though. Okay. Let us not mess this up. Thank you for the ribbon. While we did not do good, yeah, that could have been better. Ribbon's purpose is obviously pride. That's what it is, maximum gayness. A form of showing very open and active support. It also gives chat something to mess around with and stay invested. This guy's vertical attack seems to have one major flaw, which is that it's incredibly easily avoided. Thank you, thank you. What in the world was that? Those dash attacks work really well when they actually hit. Left running one seems to have a better hit die. Oh god, that one was a little tough. This guy's got some big arms. What the heck, that's a move you can just do. Jeez. Just look around, I guess. Big Arms Guy kind of reminds me of one of the schools from the first game in which they had very slow move sets that hit really hard. It was not a good move set. Just to be clear. So we did unlock something. I'll look for it in here. It's very difficult to know where anything belongs to when you learn. All I know is that it is the tall Ryu. Oh, okay. We can do the big jump attack. So the really dangerous ones seem to be stabs and verticals listed, and are rather predictable ones. Alright, that's a move that it's very defensive, but it's good to have a defensive set, I suppose. Do you think this game ever intended to see the year 202600 save file? Like I wonder about that with some old games. Did anyone possibly comprehend that someone would be playing this like over 20 years after its release? I get the idea that this is like a risk everything type of moveset. Alright, enough messing around. Why closer than it needed to be? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save on this one, cause I don't want to have to reset if I miss the sun. We're not going to be going into with a lot of that. I'm still trying to figure out it's the guard break once. Cause it's not really doing much when I try to do the input. That is not nearly as much damage as I was hoping this would do. About lost that one. Kengo ran face first into a swing there. We made it through though. We didn't even have to save scum. Defeat 3 pupils. Alright, so this is 3 in a row. We know the jump attack moveset is really only good for the approach. It got trapped in the corner. How do they do the shoulder check, man? I have that move in, and won't let me use it. Oh well, we'll go hit some other days. Let's see what the recruiter has. Oh hey, we can rescue women. Girls support girls. This is basically identical to the merchant one. Rendered background. This kind of neat. You gain more stats the more you do end up taking out along the way. But I don't risk losing the heck of fighting them any longer than I have to. It's time for a duel. We're dead. Yeah, counterattacks are brutal. Crystal one shot. Well, let's go to the outdoor tournament again, I guess. I don't think the jump attack moves that's going to do as much good. One guy down, like 9 more to go, I think. Just taunting in the middle of a fight, because like yawn. That was pretty easy. It seemed like he was trying to knock me off guard. It's time for this one again. It may or may not be the same though. He's got something going on. Man, I did that attack move said. What is this? Nothing learned, I have to beat that guy. I'm going to remove the jump attack set, because I just don't think it works very good. Like it's only even worth 5 points compared to 15. I suppose it's supposed to be for defense, because it didn't have much else going for it. Maybe if I put it in all of these it'll work. I have to wonder if those places are real location of something. Oh, sure, I guess. Let's just try something from the recruiter, I guess. I believe this one's mostly just stare or run around and fight gays. As always, our backup immediately dies. Ah, it does weekly. That's been happening for a very long time. It's a long-running joke at this point. Strangely, it's kind of hard to make it not do that. Well, we did a little bit better there. We're going to go back to the fighting pits to see if we can learn something better. I'm going to try and play a defensive method. Yeah, I knew that guy would just play stabs. Luckily, we have the counter set up on that. Okay. Jump attack worked on that one. That guy just got jumped. Like quite literally. going for the psychological victory here. He's not even really dodging that much, it's just that both of our attack sets are really poor accuracy. I did just kind of walk into that one, though. Alright, let's do this. That was a flop they just did. This guy never learns, huh? I just kind of deleted him. This guy has some crazy stuff going on. Oh, we got him. This is the new guy. Well, really, that one swing. That is shocking. Please tell me I learned something cool. Okay. We've learned a lot of stuff. I may go ahead and save all that. We may have hit the jackpot on cool webinar. So we now have loaves. What is this stance? It's so swanky. I think the stab is pretty good. It does seem to have very limited defensive options. No vertical protection, but horizontal protection. I don't know how to do these. I might have to look up a guide or pull up a manual, because being able to do that would be nice. Here, let me look it up real quick. Cause it didn't really explain what to do about those. Folks really seem to like the cicadas are. I am not finding a huge amounts. I'm seeing. Not that much. I guess it has to be highly specific to the stance. We'll leave it on and see if I can make it work. I have it all, I messed it up. I still wanted to check this one as well. I just lie. How stylish this poses. Like that is the pose of someone highly unafraid. We'll put it on the upper, because upper is the easiest to determine. I don't think I really need a third set at the moment. Alright, enough cicadas, back to gameplay. Let's see what we can get done with the new moveset. It is now our offensive set. Well, we got this one. We probably should arrest though. At time it takes you to do anything doesn't really matter in this game. As far as I'm aware. This is just kind of Lebanon fighting. Living and fighting. Could you stop? I noticed I did the kick there for a second. That at that time, I'm still not exactly sure what the input is on it. It's perfectly fine. Usually I'm kind of focusing on the fights anyways. We managed to get him there. Our health is not doing great though. Okay, we just kind of walked into that. That is truly on me. Certified oops moment. I did figure out, though, how the kick works. Here, let us rest up to full, and then we'll do the dojo. So the way I can do that kick is they specifically have to be in an upwards holding stance, which is pretty common, but that's one day down. Two more to go. I know how to kick in my world. Weekly tried to make this character in this video game do a little bit more hard. Oh, come on. I can see what the weakness of the kick is. We can get this done now. I'm very sure we can. I just have to do this a little bit better. It's a very aggressive stance. I don't think we were supposed to run away like that. But the game let us get away with it. There we go. He kind of just let that happen. They want us to go around fighting the other dojos. It's almost kind of a recreation of the first game. I suppose it's worth mentioning that, while I say I do know how to kick in my worlds, I don't know if I do it necessarily effectively. I've never had any training. Easy. And now we have to fight the big guy. He's going to have better stats, so that is a move set. Oh, come on. We did get a new move set from that. I know it's definitely a low move set. Probably low left. It's interesting. It has some better defensive options on it. I think we'll replace this one with it. Mostly because this one has been okay, but never really that great. As to where I would learn to kick in a digital world, you never know. Now I could intentionally modify my form to work better against this guy, since I know he brings a low left set. I do think when I first played this, of which I have never finished the game, it did take me quite a bit of time in order to get to the edit. New moves at high aggressive and high defensive. Ouch! Well, that didn't work out very well. This game is a habit of being like very brutal in terms of damage taken. Like you can just suddenly lose most of your life. So I guess I might as well start playing with real swords. There we go. That was kind of bully mode there. Could this gay do something else? I cannot do anything. Every input was being refused. Not enough tactics, it would seem. Well, that happened. Highly anticlimactic. I don't know what progress we lost, I wasn't earlier keeping track. We ever move set though? That seems to be a really good tactic, is to dash forward, and then do the leftwards, running attack. Tends to catch some folks off guard. There we go. I like how I've just turned our fighting style into holding her so her just low. Getting those feints in there. Finally, I was a protracted battle. We'll take her skill points and a remaining up. We have gotten a new form. Question is, where is it at? I might be able to look it up just to find it faster. That's actually not too bad. No stab guard, though I find the stab guards kind of really useful. Eel split his uprights. This 2 diagonal swings. Time I might put that went on. Because I don't feel like the other one's doing too much, it's so slow. This one should give us a lot of defensive options. We need the vertical punish. These are very tricky to make work, that I have discovered. We'll run with this for now. Can I beat the dojo now? Only at half up is not the best, but we'll make do. Thankfully, this attack style seems to be kind of quick. We'll stay on the defensive because this guy is kind of a pain otherwise. Alright, he is destroying me. I'm aware of the time we leave. Thank you for telling me. Just not having a good time of it. Of trying to win these fights. Different group of assassins. Bodyguards have failed again. There we go. These are mostly just stat points. But it will help us out a little bit. Alright, we should be at full. I'm going to give the training grounds the competition grounds. I got the name wrong both times, the outdoor tournament. We're going to see if we can make this work. I don't know how that didn't hit, but okay, thanks game. Okay, that moveset's just cheap, man. Okay. Basic upper stance apparently. We've got to give it one more try, that was pitiful. There we go. I've got the better guard break on this move, son. Alright. Number 2 down. Number 3 down. This guy is terrifying. Is not the worst though. I do not know what to do about this guy. He feels like he's playing an entirely different game. Why is he out here smurf thing? Waterfall dance. That's nah. That is an upper. Oh, we got the rolling attack. Outside of it costing a lot, it's actually pretty nice. Parries. Doesn't have a center or a defense takeout, but it's got a full complement. I feel like I have to have the stab guard, just because of how dangerous they feel they are. Well, now that we have the rolling attacks, we've got to try it. If I could get that one really fast move, said he seems to have it, be nice. Oh yeah, this moveset is good. We got something going here. Idea, thank this game and unfortunately for how. This franchise kind of fell off and disappeared. I think it was on to something kind of neat. There's a reason why it's kind of enchanted me for so long. Like the first game ends here to do, because it's just kind of weird. But this one has a lot of good ideas going on. Goodness me, this man. Samurai Jack over here is just a... He is a boss, I don't know why. Dragon grin. Has a low laugh. Okay, so that's his combo. So we finally got all these moves. We gotta give it one more go. I did think it took me like a good couple of days to get added the section originally, so not surprised it's taking this long. That was a tough first fight. Oh, my forehead. Oh, my forehead. Yeah, I think that's about enough for tonight. We learned some stuff though. Low left and low right. As much as I don't like having the damage, I'm going to go ahead and save because those are probably neat movesets. And what is there to do but to collect all of the movesets? I'm going to let the title sequence upload again, just because it's so cool. It has no right to be this cruel. Anyways, that's all for tonight. I will catch you again on Saturday. Provided I have the energy to do so. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'll make a little bit of an announcement about it, but my work schedule is changing. So we will see what that does for potentially Monday, late night streams. But I have the debut to focus on at the moment. So I will raid else. Thank you all for being here. Thank you Weekly. Thank you Shinny. I'm glad folks like this strange little game. Lee is currently streaming golf, so I will send you her way. Catch you all next time. There may be a midday stream tomorrow, I don't know yet. Anyways, bye.